Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm so grateful that you're here joining me today. This pick a card reading is going to be a little hype up sesh, so we're going to be seeing what do you desire to be hyped up about. Please subscribe to my channel down below and hit the bell so you can be notified every time I pop out, and like this video as well as comment down below how this resonated for you and any suggestions that you may have. So let's get into our group selection. We only have 2 groups today. The first group is going to be Explorer, which is the blue card, and Guardian, which is the green card. I'll give you a second to select your group, and you can pause it if you need to. And you might resonate with both groups. Without further ado, we're going to be getting into our groups, and so I will see you there. If you selected the Explorer card, then this is your group number 1. Let's tap into this. So first and foremost, what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you do not limit yourself to what you already know. Like, you're someone who definitely explores new belief systems, you explore new hobbies, you explore new ways of being. Like, you are ever changing, and I feel like you are constantly evolving into like the best version of you. And so you're somebody who does not stay the same. Like, there are certain people who are still doing the same things that they were doing like 5 years ago, and the same habits, behaviors, everything. You're somebody who can acknowledge that you don't know everything, and like you learn new things to progress in your life. So that's kind of the energy that I'm getting from this, as well as this free-spirited energy. Like, you're very open-minded. You're not closed off. You're not stuck in your ways. You are somebody who opens yourself up to new possibilities. So let's tap into this energy and get some tarot. What does pile number 1 deserve to be hyped up about? We have the Empress, the Father of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Father of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, the Devil. So, first and foremost, what you deserve to be hyped up about with the Empress is the fact that you are so rooted in who you are. And so, there's this reference, like, let's say you are this tree, right? People can come up and they can cut the leaves off your tree or the branches or whatever, but you are so rooted in the ground and in your belief system that it does not shake who you think you are and how you present yourself in the world and like how you feel about yourself. I feel like you're this very creative energy. You are so nurturing, loving, and compassionate. And I feel like you are able to maintain everything that you gain. And so that's what makes you so successful, is the fact that you really put the work in and you really, what am I thinking of? Manage things well. Because you could gain this success and then all of a sudden, if you don't have the discipline, it could just all be gone within like a blink of an eye, And so you're definitely somebody who's able to allow things to flourish, and I feel like you cherish everything that you have in life. But I just really feel like you're standing in your power, and you don't need the validation of other people to know who you are and that you are an amazing soul and that you have pure intentions. Like, you are the full package, and you don't need other people to tell you that you're the full package for you to know that, And there's also like a moon on here, so I feel like you're this very kind of mysterious energy. I feel like you kind of dabble in your shadow energy a little bit, but it's just to protect you. Like, you're not somebody who's out here being destructive, just be destructive. No, you're just not somebody to be fucked with, honestly. The next card we have is the Father of Cups, which is water energy. What you deserve to be hyped up about is literally your heart. Like I said before, you have pure intentions. And I feel like you're emotionally vulnerable, and that's what allows people to relate to you, because we live in a world where vulnerability is seen as weakness, but it's not. You know, that's how people are going to relate to you. That's how people are going to understand you. That's how you're going to connect with others, is through vulnerability. And like true intimacy comes with vulnerability. And I'm not just talking about romantic intimacy. I'm talking about, you know, platonic intimacy as well. I just feel like you kind of wear your heart on your sleeve, but it's also like you protect yourself when you need to. It's not like you're a complete open book, just sharing everything and all information about you, but you do share the relevant information, and you do open up about your life experiences, and you tell stories and kind of give people this symbolism through these stories, I believe. I just feel like you're this very gentle soul, very down to earth, and you can empathize for other people, which is a really good trait. The next card we have is the Wheel of Fortune. So what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that, like I said before with the Explorer card, you open yourself up to like new belief systems and new ways of being. And so we are cyclical beings, which means we go through cycles in life. And I feel like you are able to close out these cycles and get into some new cycles in your life. Like, you know that if you are suffering, it's only temporary and it's not going to last forever. And I feel like you are just in this very abundant energy right now. And it's giving me like rags to riches. Like, you might have not had a successful start, like a humble beginning, but now you are coming into like the successful era in your life, and everything that you've gone through is now worth it. And you recognize that these were just lessons that your soul needed to learn, so you could maintain this abundance, so you could maintain this wealth, so you could maintain the connections that are coming into your life. I just feel like you're really soaking in this energy and kind of shining a light on how other people can do this too. Like, not only have you gotten to this point in your life, but I feel like you are trying to help others to get to this point as well, and seeing like this is possible for you too. You know, anybody can be somebody, is what I'm getting from this energy. There's also an owl on here, which has to do with intuition. So you're a very intuitive energy, and I feel like you move through that intuitive guidance, so you are guided on the right path. The next card we have is the Father of Pentacles, which is earth energy. And if you notice, it has the same rainbow. The rainbow in the Wheel of Fortune and the rainbow in his antlers. You are this very grounded and stable energy, and you're also very reliable. Like, you follow through with what you say. People know that if you say you're going to help them, you're going to help them. Or if you say you're going to this party, you're going to go to this party. Like, you're somebody who definitely follows through with your commitments, and you are committed to the things that you love and care about. I feel like not only do you show up for yourself, but you show up for others. I feel like you're definitely, like, you deserve to be hyped up about how you just mind your business. You know, you're in your bag, you're getting that coin, and I feel like you're not really focused on what other people are doing. You're just focusing on making yourself happy and gaining the stability and security that you need in your life for you to feel at peace. And I feel like you're kind of, this gives me this energy of you are enlightened about this new era in your life. Like, you know that you've probably passed through the hardest part of your life already, because you have been prepared, you were initiated, so you would be prepared for everything that was coming in for you. Because if you got everything that you're about to gain years ago, you wouldn't have been ready. You wouldn't have had the skills, the coping skills and mechanisms and the abilities and gifts that you have today. You know, you wouldn't have had the intelligence that you have today. So that's really the energy that I'm getting. With the Devil on the bottom, Ace of Swords, the Tower, I feel like what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you're kind of this, like, people get obsessive about you. Like, people like to latch onto your energy due to you being this very, like, providing energy, compassionate, nurturing, like, people get codependent on your help. And I feel like you recognize this because with the Ace of Swords behind this, you know the truth. And I feel like you might call people out on this truth and be like, hey, I'm not here for you to be codependent off of me. Like, I can't do the work for you. And I feel like that's what people kind of want you to do, is do the work for them. Or they feel like you can in some way. But I also feel like you've kind of conquered some kind of darkness within yourself. Whether this was toxic habits, obsessions, addictions, whatever it is, codependency. Like, I feel like you have cleared out this toxicity in your life so you could be in this era, and you made a lot of sacrifices to get to where you are. And that's what it takes, you know, discipline and balance within your life to get what you desire. Let's get some clarifying cards with my archetype deck. What does pile number 1, half the deck just fell, what does pile number 1 deserve to be hyped up about? Seeker, thirst for wisdom and truth wherever they are. Seeker, explorer, seeker, explorer. What am I talking about? You literally have this thirst for wisdom and truth. Like, you are so open-minded to learning and expanding yourself. Like, you are not stuck in your own ways. And so that's what you deserve to be hyped up about, is that you are ever changing, ever flowing. Like, there are no limits to who you could be, and you are a limitless being. And so that's really the energy that I'm getting from this, is that you are just seeking for the truth. You know, sometimes we have illusions that we believe are the truth, but then we realize the truth is something different. And I feel like you're definitely someone who stands in your truth as well. What else do you deserve to be hyped up about? Poet, expresses soul insights in symbolic language. Did I not say that you express yourself through symbolism in stories? Literally. It's like, the way that you express things is a way that people can understand. Like, you give them symbolism so they can understand the concept better. Like, you simplify it down. Simplify complicated concepts in order for people to be able to absorb the information better. This is some good energy. On the bottom, we have warrior. Yeah. I feel like you've fought a lot of battles, and no matter what comes across your path, you know that you are going to conquer it, and you're going to be okay. I feel like you don't stress about the things that other people usually stress about, because you've made it through everything that you thought you couldn't. Let's see what else. Again, with the same energy that we were just talking about. Athlete, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. Like, you have found this inner resilience that cannot, like, it's not going to go away. Okay, this resilience that you've built up, like, you know you can make it through anything, whether this is physical handicaps, anything, literally anything. And I feel like you just conquer anything that comes across your path, because you have this willpower and you have this strength, and you know your spirit can make it through any fucking thing. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. Servant, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. And I feel like you're just this very selfless energy, and that's what you deserve to be hyped up about, is that you serve others without the expectation that you're going to get anything in return. And it's just because I feel like you are helping others to avoid the same mistakes that you've made and not have to go through the same experiences that you've had to go through. We're going to get our last closing cards with the Soul's Journey deck. What does pile number 1 deserve to be hyped up about? Gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. And I feel like that's why you are so strong. It's because you have faith and you function through an attitude of gratitude. Like, when you are grateful for what you already have, you're given more. And if you're not grateful and you're just being greedy, then you're not going to get more. And so no matter what you're going through, I feel like you express this gratitude and you don't allow your experiences to get you down and, like, break your spirit. Let's see what else. What else do you deserve to be hyped up about? Pile number 1. Health. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines me. Yes, I feel like you're definitely somebody who prioritizes your health, your spiritual, mental, physical, overall health, which is what allows you to power through. Like, you know, if your body says you need some rest, you're going to take that rest, and you're not going to push yourself past your limits, because I feel like you're very in tune with yourself and what you need. Let's get one more card. Surrender. I can release my need to control. I feel like you have surrendered control, and you control the things that you can control. And that's why you don't worry about the same things that other people do, because you know you can only control what you can control, which is yourself, your behaviors, your habits, your lifestyle, the people you surround yourself with, you know, where you invest your time, what are you consuming online, everything. And so I feel like you're really having that discipline in controlling what you can't control and not trying to control things outside of your control, because that's what causes more resistance. On the bottom, judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges, and I feel like you do not compare yourself to other people and their journey, and you know that everyone's on their own timing, and you're not forcing people to see the world the way that you see it. So thank you so much for joining me in this reading. Hit the subscribe button down below to subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to be notified every time I pop out. And also like and comment down below so I know how this resonated for you. And if you have any suggestions, also put that down below. And all my links for my personal readings, my social media, and my Patreon for exclusive content is all down below. And I will see you next time. If you selected the Guardian card, then this is your group. Pile number 2. Welcome into this reading. Let's tap in. So the first thing that I'm getting is what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you know that you have protection. Whether this is spiritual protection, this is physical, like support system that you have, you definitely give thanks to whatever protection you have, whether this is to God, source, the universe, your spirit team. You know that somebody is watching over you, and you know that like no ill will shall ever prosper against you. Like, you understand that you are safe and that you do not need to worry about your safety. And I just feel like whether this is through you doing prayer or like candle magic or lighting incense, spiritual baths, whatever it is that you do, there's some kind of ritual that you have that I feel like honors whoever is watching over you. That's kind of the energy that I'm getting. Like, I feel like you definitely believe in some kind of higher power, whatever power that is for you. But I feel like you understand that they are watching over you and that you don't need to worry about, you know, anything interfering with what you've got going on. So let's tap into this energy and get some tarot cards. What does pile number 2 deserve to be hyped up about? We have Justice, the Ten of Cups, Judgment, and the Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Hangman. So this kind of goes with this Guardian card, so I'm really enjoying this energy. So with Justice, I feel like you understand the basis of karma. I have chills right now. So you understand that since you have this protection, that means that anybody who tries to fuck you over is fucking around and finding out. Like, you do not need to see the evidence of karma kicking someone's ass. Like, you know that if something unjust happens, you will get your justice. And you know that for a fact. Like, you do not worry about whether you're going to be, like, repaid for something, or you're going to be compensated for something. But I also feel like you're a very just person, and that's what you deserve to be hyped up about, is that you are fair and you are just. You don't do out-of-pocket shit, but you will pop off if you need to pop off. Like, if you need to defend yourself or defend others, you will, because you have this balance between your light and your dark aspects, your masculine and your feminine aspects. I feel like you have this very good balance within yourself. And I feel like you have a very strong sense of justice. So you will stand up for others too. Not just yourself, but others. Like, I feel like you just have this essence about you. And I feel like people can tell that you are divinely protected, and so they know that you are not somebody that they should mess around with. You are not some, people poke the bear. You are not somebody that people like think they can poke. I feel like you kind of had this intimidating aura in a way. Like, people can feel your power without really knowing what this power is. But yeah, I feel like what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that, like, that karma will always be served and you will always be taken care of because you're a good person. And so you get your good karma, and nobody can steal that good karma away from you. That's just delusional, The next card we have is the Ten of Cups. So what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you've created your own happiness. I feel like you might have been somebody who didn't really feel at home in your childhood. You might have felt out of place. And I feel like you've created your own home and came home to yourself. And I feel like you've found this emotional fulfillment within. And you're somebody who, I feel like you live for joy. Like, you live for joyful experiences. Like, you do things that make you happy. You do things that bring you joy. You do things that bring you peace. And if it's not bringing you joy, peace, or happiness, or stability, then it's not for you. And I feel like you have become vulnerable with yourself and created this safe space for you to feel safe to open up and create this intimacy. I don't know why I'm stuttering right now. This intimacy with yourself is kind of what I'm getting from this energy. I just feel like you are your own safe haven is kind of what I'm getting from this energy. And I feel like you're also comfortable being alone. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're always alone, but that means, like, if you needed to be alone for a certain amount of time, you probably could. And not everybody could do that. The next card we have is Judgment. What you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you have awoken to your power. I feel like you are no longer allowing other people. I don't think you're allowing other people's opinions to sway your perspective of yourself. Like, you now have this perception of yourself that's realistic, and you have kind of dug deep to really understand how powerful you truly are. And I feel like you are the leader. Like, you inspire other people to dig within to find their power as well. Like, you have this power that literally cannot be stolen from you. Nobody can take this. Like, now that you know who you are, the impact that you have on others, and like your purpose, nobody can stop you. You are a powerhouse and you are indestructible. And I feel like you are the leader. Like, if you notice, all these birds are following this one. Like, you are leading the pack. And even though, like, people might have thought you were a little crazy at first, they're like, what in the world? Because it's different. When people see something that's different, they reject it because they're so closed-minded. But I feel like people are now seeing the fact that, like, this is your truth and this is who you are, and that's not changing. And I feel like you're not forcing others to believe what you believe, but the proof is in the pudding. That's what I'm getting from this. The proof is in the pudding. And so people are like, you know what? I see what this has done for them, so maybe I should try that. Maybe I can do that. And the next card we have is the Four of Swords. So what you deserve to be hyped up about is the fact that you take time out for yourself. You rest, you heal, you rejuvenate, you recharge. And I feel like you've laid a lot to rest. And you've released yourself from like the burdens of the past. And I also feel like in your solitude and in your resting period, this could also be called like a cocooning era. I feel like that's when you find your enlightenment and your empowerment. Like if you notice their third eye is open, like that's where you get your intuitive insight, is in this stillness and in this solitude. I just really feel like you know how to take care of yourself and you know what your soul needs from you. I feel like you've done a lot of healing work in like all aspects. And so that's how you've gotten to where you are, is because you've done the work and you know who you are. And I feel like you have an understanding of your experiences and why they happen and the lessons that you've learned and like the soul growth that you needed from these experiences. On the bottom, the Hangman, and what you deserve to be hyped up about, like I said, is you are giving people higher perspectives and awakening them to the fact that like we don't need to be like everybody else, and if this is what works for you, this could work for other people. And so for the people who are stagnant, they are seeing you flourish and they're like, you know what, maybe I should try it too. We're gonna get some clarifying cards with my archetype deck. What does pile number 2 deserve to be hyped up about? And they just flew. We have artist and we have victim. Expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the 5 senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Literally what I'm talking about is like you are opening people's eyes to a new way of being, a new way of life. Like it's like you are showing people that you don't need to live life like other people. You don't need to follow the societal norms. You don't need to do things the way that everyone's doing it. You can live your own life and make your own decisions and choose your own path. And so that's what I'm really getting from this, is like you are opening people's eyes to other dimensions and like the spiritual realm, and how we need to do the healing work and how our soul needs to be healed. And not everything is about the physical realm, about what you can see with your 2 eyes. It's also about your intuition. And I have chills right now, literally, like, you know, getting chills when something is the truth, or following that intuition, even though you can't see the proof of it. And so that's what you're really showing people, is that you can follow your intuition even when you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. And with victim, I feel like with the healing work that you've done, you recognize that like you are not a victim, you are a survivor, and you do not allow yourself to sit in this victim mentality, because you know that these are lessons that your soul needed to learn. This is not punishment. This is not you know, receiving a bunch of bad karma. This is you learning the lessons that your soul needed to learn so you could heal, so you could do the work, so you could be enlightened, so you could be empowered, so you could step into this new era. And so I feel like you show other people you don't need to be the victim. You don't need to victimize yourself, because that's what keeps you stagnant. That's what keeps you stuck. That's what keeps you confused and in this chaotic energy. Let's get one more card. That is 3 more cards. We got Destroyer, Mystic, and Knight. Yeah, I just feel like you're this very divine being, and it's like you release whatever is potentially destructive for you. Like you are not somebody who's just going to stick around in the chaos. Let's get one card, please. What does pile number 2 deserve to be hyped up about? We have Slave. Surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. This is literally what I'm explaining. Is like you open people's eyes to the fact that there is a higher power. It's not just us. And I feel like since you follow your intuition and you allow spirit to guide you, even though you don't really see where you're going, like you don't see the end result yet, you trust the universe to guide you and to show you the way. Like you know that you are, like since you follow what fulfills you, you know what's meant for you. Like obviously if you don't have a passion for something, or if it doesn't feel good, then it's not meant for you. And so you allow your happiness, your peace, and your joy to determine where you are meant to go, because you're meant to live a joyful life. You're meant to have a peaceful life. You're meant to have a life full of ease. And if it's complicated, then it's not meant for you. And so that's what you deserve to be hyped up about, is the fact that like you show others that intuition is our inner compass. On the bottom of the deck, Saboteur highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. Yeah, I feel like you used to be someone who didn't have the self-esteem to make your own decisions. You didn't have the confidence in maybe your intuition or in your inner guidance to be guided on the right path. But now I feel like you have found this self-empowerment and you trust yourself. That's ultimately what this is you trusting yourself. So let's get our last closing cards with the Soul's Journey cards. What does pile number 2 deserve to be hyped up about? Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Yeah, I feel like you're somebody who's very adjusted to change, and you understand that change is the only constant in life. So for you to resist that change, it's going to make life really hard. And so I feel like you're definitely someone who is able to flow with the change of life and the ebbs and flows of life as well, and showing people that we don't need to resist this change. We have envy. I'm the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Victim. This is clarifying victim. I feel like there are a lot of people who envy you and are very jealous of you, but you understand that people have different challenges. People have different lessons that they need to learn, and I feel like you've learned a lot of your lessons, and so people can envy you, but they have no clue what it took for you to get here. They have no clue how many times you got to pull yourself through the trenches and pull yourself out of the dark places. So I feel like you allow people to envy you, but you don't fall victim to that, because you know that the reason why they envy you is because they're insecure. One more card. What does pile number 2 deserve to be hyped up about? We have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. Yeah, and I feel like this is what this healing energy is. It's like you understand that things come in and out of your life. And I feel like you have detached yourself from things and learned the art of detachment so you don't become hurt from every circumstance. Like not everything lasts forever. You can't hold on to things forever. And so this is also like with this change, is that you understand that things are happening for a reason and there's a purpose behind everything. And sometimes things are just a lesson in your life. And it's not meant to be, like, things come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And so most of the time there's an expiration date on things that are in your life, which is fine. And so I feel like you grieve whatever you lose, but you know that there was something that you gained from that circumstance, and that endings bring new beginnings. So that's what you deserve to be hyped up about, is that you don't hang on to that grief forever. On the bottom, growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Yeah, and I feel like you're expanding. Like you're constantly evolving, and you know that, like I said, this grief is for growth, and the change is for growth. Everything that you go through is for growth and for your soul's growth. So thank you so much for joining me for this reading. You can hit the subscribe button down below and the bell to be notified every time I pop out. Please like and comment down below if this reading resonated for you, and all the links for my personal readings, my social media, or my Patreon for exclusive readings are all down below, and I will see you next time.